months to make certain we are all clear on what our steps might be to make that happen. And after we came to a church consensus almost, I mean, we voted, it was a very strong vote, and we were like, okay, we know what we need to do. And then another United Methodist problem showed up, which is very rare, extremely rare, that stopped and undid everything we had done. And we had to start over. During that time, my doctor began to observe differences in my health. And I was burdened, and he could see it. And my doctor, a small town doctor, knows me quite well and began to say, "You're not okay. And you really need to think about leaving your profession or taking an immensely long break." And I said, being the humble guy that I am, "Nah, I got this." And I stayed and stayed, and we worked through the next hurdle in the process, and by the time that was done, we went back to, and finally the building began to be delayed and more delayed and more delayed, and then we went to doing it, and it had more problems than I think anybody dreamed, and we knew there would be problems. And I stayed. And I probably shouldn't have done it. By December last year, my physician and staff parish relations committee's chair said, "You need a break." And so I took 1 month. That was not what I needed. And I opted to stay in for 1 more year because I thought that way I could help you through the culmination that we celebrated last week. We got it. We built the building. We did a $2 million task with 100 of us left after COVID. Isn't that amazing? And I have to admit to you that it took something out of me. I thought in December I could get through the next conference year, get to June 2023. By July I thought, maybe I can get to Easter 2023. By the time we were leaving to go to Ethiopia, I knew that I would never make that, and I was hoping I could make it till Christmas 2022. And I can't. I love you, but next Sunday will be my last Sunday. By the grace of God and the work of our district superintendent, Shinji Otok, who's here today, and the Staff Parish Relations Committee, I will be granted a renewal leave. But I don't want you to think that's a renewal, so I will come back here. My retirement is looming right after that leave, and I'll take an extended vacation, so my last Sunday will be next week. I went to the retirement ceremony for a Catholic priest up in McKinleyville. I loved him. Good man. And they had a liturgy, as Catholics are prone. And in the liturgy it said, as you move to retirement, it's time for you to return to the faith of your simple welcome in Christ from your childhood or your youth. It's time to return to a faith without responsibility for other people, but instead to I don't remember the wording, but to make certain you now learn responsiveness again to the Spirit of God without always asking the question, how does that affect me as a pastor or a priest? And what I need to do in my life is do that. And this renewal leave will be focused on me finding a heart with God without asking, and then how do I bring that to my congregation? What do I do to be responsible for y'all? But instead, how can I receive this for me and be my best in the love of God and let myself be one of the beloved of God? So thank you for 6.5 incredible years. I love you. Your love for me is embarrassing. Okay? So, detail. If you ever ask why I never let you know my birthday, you don't know my birthday, do you? You don't know my birthday. You ever wonder why? You ever noticed that I've never acknowledged to you my anniversary date? You ever asked that question? Let me tell you why. You are the perfect example. I found years ago that as pastor, people love me too much. They love me and they celebrate my birthdays and have big birthday parties and they celebrate my anniversaries and somebody else walks in on the same day, maybe they're having the birthday the same day I am, and nobody knows and nobody pays attention. And I decided I don't want to be that much the center of your attention. I just want you to love each other. Let me be a small part of the family, not a big one. So I'm never giving you that. So some of you are asking, well, gee, if this is like the end of your time here, well, should we have a party? Could you do me a favor? Could we just have coffee hour? I don't want anything bigger than just go to coffee after church next week and hug on each other and love on each other and get a chance with me to say something if you can. During the time I'm gone, you have a total luxury. A lot of the churches I've served have not had this kind of luxury. You have Carl Thomas, you have Linda Caldwell, and you have Jim Mishler, 3 of the coolest pastors I know, and they're going to carry things. They attend church here. They know the way around. You probably know where some of the basements are. And so you're going to be fine for these next months. It's going to be great. But while I was away, you had wonderful speakers, but who held the services together? Carl and Linda and Jim. They preached here. They know you. You know them. You're going to be fine. There will be a pastor who's finally appointed here in July, and Shinya and the bishop will be working on who that is, and I hope she's amazing, and I trust she will be. It's just going to be that way. So, this is my announcement. And if you remember any other thing in this announcement, hear this. I love you and thank you for loving me. It's been great. I will miss you terribly. In United Methodism, when you're gone, at least for a year. You don't hear, see, I'm gone. And so it doubly hurts me because I'll be away. It probably will hurt many of you. And just know, I'm just doing that so you can fall in love with church even deeper without me in the way. I'm going to do that because I want you to fall in love with your next pastor, because she's going to rock your world, whoever she is or he. Just want you to know that for a year I'll be very quiet. But what I will be doing is pursuing a greater and greater love with this beautiful God. What's it been like for me to be a pastor? The most mystical, most amazing thing I've ever imagined. To nourish people in the love that has become what you are. What you are individually, what you are together. I'll never, ever, ever get over the wonder of this, ever. But now I'm going to be a church guy. I'm going to take the place I've always dreamed of taking. I'm going to sit in church in a pew. And I'm going to watch some other pastor do the love and the job that is so hard that it has worn me to a frazzle. And I'm going to love that pastor. I'm going to support that pastor. I'm going to nourish that pastor. And it's going to be good for me. I'm going to switch mics now. I want you to do the same. Okay? For Carl and Linda and Jim. For the person who will come in July, I want you to do the same. I want you to love being the person in the pew. There's no question in my mind, never has been, that the greatest place to be in church is not in the front, but where you are right now. That's the hottest place in the space.